My name is Lee Slimming. I'm managing partner of the Coup, which is a talent solutions company based in Dubai. I'm originally from the UK, moved to Dubai in 2012, and the Coup was set up earlier this year to tackle recruitment challenges, particularly in the Middle East. We look at talent solutions, innovative talent solutions, but ultimately remaining true to the principles of matching companies with people. So the UAE tech market is really exciting at the moment. It's very busy and it's become a real startup hub for the world. So the UAE government are putting a lot of emphasis on tech startups, which means that engineers and data scientists are more in demand than they've ever been. So looking in the UAE, I think there's a couple of channels for anybody looking for tech jobs. LinkedIn is hugely popular here. It's good to have an up-to-date LinkedIn profile that's got all of your skills on there. Make sure you've got links to any portfolios or Github account that you might have. There's also aggregator sites like Indeed, which will bring together all of the jobs that are being advertised in a region. And then it's also worth looking at individual startup websites because they'll often have a career page and they'll often have their jobs listed there. And then there's also companies, of course, like the Coup that you can come to if you're looking for a tech job here. So to start you've got several ways of starting a career. One is that you could do some freelancing, and I would suggest that you do that anyway to keep a portfolio going, to show that you're working on the technology stack that you have chosen. And it means that you've got reference material for companies to look at to see what kind of work you've done. So using platforms like Upwork or Fiverr, one of those platforms, so that you can start to do little bits of work and get good reviews, and hopefully that could spiral into something more permanent. There are internship programs, so you can look at platforms like Olive, which used to be interns.me. There are also some of the larger organizations, for example, Sierra Group, who I used to work for. They have an internship program. I think it's normally between 3 and 6 months, and they take a cohort of people. And you can start with internship programs. Also looking at individual companies, looking at startups and seeing what they might have. Networking is a really big thing. So networking digitally, so on LinkedIn, for example, trying to find heads of engineering that use the technology stack that you have chosen and introducing yourself to them. Also going to in-person networking events. The community for some of these technology stacks, particularly online, is huge. So I would get involved, get on Stack Overflow, join groups on LinkedIn, so for example, Python groups or Ruby on Rails groups, start to engage in conversations around your chosen technology stack. And that, again, will bring opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily expect. So internships are super important to get your foot in the door in the UAE. It's quite difficult for entry-level jobs in Dubai and in the Middle East in general. So if you can get into an internship program, it's a really great place to learn, to start to develop your skill sets and get some real-world experience.
For small or large tech?
This is a difficult question, and there's no right or wrong answer. A lot of it is to do with where the company is in its journey. So, for example, if you get a startup that's very early in its journey, you may not get the support that you would get if a startup is a little bit further on in their funding journey. But having said that, depending on the CTO that you're reporting into or the head of engineering, you might learn a huge amount. So for me, what I would look at is the profile of the people that you're going to be working with. Are they people that you're going to learn from? And that's regardless of the size of the company. because sometimes a larger organization, you can end up in a narrower role, whereas in a startup, you might actually end up with greater visibility on the business operations, more opportunity to progress. So for me, I would always look at it company by company, and also look at the team that you might be working with. There are a couple of things. So CV is super important, but you should also have links in that CV to things like a GitHub account. If you're a coder, if you're a creative, maybe you have a Behance platform. It's really important to be able to show examples of your work and to show what you've done, so links to websites that you might have built, because ultimately what they'll be looking for is what you've done rather than what you've put in your CV. Cover letters don't really exist anymore. They would be more appropriate to be in an email if you want to write something at all. LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile, get that up to date. Make sure it has any courses on there, any educational history. Again, that's a great sales platform for you, because you can put a bit of your personality on there and explain what it is that you have done. But for anybody who's within the technical space, honestly, things like GitHub and making sure that your code is really clean and that you have projects open to be analyzed, to be looked at, and to demonstrate what it is that you can do with your code. So technical tests, there are a lot of demo tests online, so you can go on and look at things like HackerRank, see if you can take any tests that they have there for free, so the demos, because a lot of technical jobs, they will now be asking for technical tests, because ultimately you can say what you've done and you can say what you've studied, but until somebody actually sees your technical capability, it's very difficult for them to assess how good you are. And so they will do that through technical testing. So preparing for an interview is really important. And my number one tip is to know your CV inside out. So and you'd be really surprised at how many people don't know their CV and what they did when they've moved jobs and when they graduated, just simple things. So be able to explain why you've made changes that you've made. So particularly for students at Le Wagon, if they have made a career change, for example, so they've been in another field and then they've made a switch to coding. Why have they done that? What was the reason behind it and the rationale? Why did they choose Le Wagon? Why did they choose Dubai? All of these various things. It's really important to be able to explain succinctly why you've made the decisions that you've made. The other thing is that you will likely be asked situational questions, so what we call competency-based questions. So things like, give me a time when you have worked in a group, or give me a time when you have experienced conflict. And it's really important to go through these situational kind of questions and have good examples and answers ready, because those are the things that give colour to who you are as a personality, what you're like to work with. Do you work well on your own or in a team? Can you recognise where things went well or where things went badly, and what did you do to resolve these things? That's super important. So the situational interviews, you highlight a problem and you describe it, you describe what you did, and then what your reflection was at the end of it. So it's really important to go through those 3 stages when you're answering those questions and practice before you go. So go and sit with somebody for a coffee and make them interview you. Honestly, role playing is the most important thing you could possibly do. So in the UAE, a salary could go from 0. So if you are going into an internship, expect that you might not be paid for that internship. So be prepared that that first job could be 0, or it could be a couple of thousand dirhams if they're feeling generous. But expect it to be low. Then it could be anything up to about 10,000 dirhams for a junior developer. And then obviously things will go exponentially as you gain experience. And a lot of this is company dependent. So some companies will have smaller budgets because of where they are in their funding journey. Others will have larger budgets depending on how much funding they've got. So the good thing about hiring somebody who's come from a boot camp, and particularly a good boot camp, is that they have a foundation of knowledge in whatever it is that they've chosen. So whether it's data science or whether it's the web course with Ruby on Rails, they have a really good base level understanding of the technology stack that they're looking at. But the second thing that's really important, and I think something that the Wagon does really well, is the collaboration piece. So what's incredibly important when you join an organization is being able to collaborate with other engineers. So whether it's as simple as being able to use Slack and using other channels to be able to share your code, make sure that deployments aren't overlapping, it's super, super important. And I think Wagon does that really well. And the teamwork aspect of it is exceptional. And that's really, really important. There has been a huge gap for tech talent in the UAE, huge. And we have traditionally had to go outside the region and bring talent in. So we would go to Europe, we would go to places like India, Pakistan, Egypt, all of these different places to bring engineers to the region. It's been very rare to be able to find homegrown talent, and this is where the Wagon comes in, because you're growing people from a low base knowledge level and you're bringing them to a level where they can build an application, they can be productive within a team, they understand the technology stack, they understand product, they understand data science, and ultimately that has been what's missing in this region. And it's super interesting because we're actually growing talent here. And that's the first time that it's, to my knowledge, that it's happened in this region, which is super exciting. So an interview is made up of several parts. There's normally a technical element to it. But what's really important, and something that the Coup emphasizes, is that an interview should be a two-way conversation. So we liken it to dating, where you have basically two parties that are meeting and deciding whether they get along. And that's what an interview should be like. So yes, somebody who's interviewing you is asking about your technical skill set. They're asking you about what you've done in the past, how you work with teams. But you also should be asking them, what did their company, what does it offer? What are the progression opportunities? What's the culture like? What are the diversity statistics? Things like this. So you have to be comfortable as a candidate that you also want to join that organization. So it's, for us, it is always a two-way conversation, and you should never feel like you're being interrogated without being able to do a little bit of interrogation back.